Welcome to the space where we create safety in the unknown. This is where I transforms in we because we're all part of it. May we uncover the truths that we need to claim in order to follow our path. Welcome to the vast universe, you beautiful souls. This is Blooming from Within. Welcome back to the pod, you beautiful people. I missed you a lot. It has been some time since I've been here, but I'm so happy to finally record an episode. I've had a pretty rough season of life, and somehow it's coming to an end. But I know there's going to be even harder times in the future, like in the near future, but I'm still somehow trying to live in the present moment so I don't stress myself out that much. So I've actually been in school for the last month or so, and it has been a lot. So this episode is going to cover a little bit of a life update, but mainly what I've been feeling lately. A question that I've been debating and feelings that I've had in the last few weeks or so, and I hope you'll enjoy this new episode from Blooming from Within because I really missed this space. I really missed talking to my people, so welcome, you beautiful people. So I'm going to start by telling you the topic of today's episode because it's actually really not many people talk about this, and I really think it's really common for us people. So today we're talking about seeing cycles of your life repeat and also comparing yourself with past version of yourselves and feeling that you've moved backwards. So I've been experiencing different feelings that I had in the past, and I think that I said it once more on the podcast. Your brain functions like this. It stores information from past experiences, and whenever he observes something, he just brings back a memory, and he doesn't give you the chance to live in the present moment and feel what's in that moment, because the brain just gives you the information. Like he will say, this is going to happen, this is what's going to happen, but actually it may not happen. Like, I don't know, I didn't explain it well. So what I wanted to say was, your brain works from past experiences, and that's why he always focuses on the past instead of the present. So whenever you're experiencing something in the present, he wants to associate that with something from the past. But that's not true. You're living something new. Even if it may feel that it's repeating, it is not, because the circumstances are different, the environment is different, you are a different person. So actually it's not repeating, but your brain wants to fix everything really fast. So that's why he's giving you all the information before you even hear everything that you need to, everything that's around you, before you see, before you hear, before you experience the actual moment, the actual information that you're receiving in the present. So I've actually, just a little background story. So I've started school, and when I was little and I started school, so I started to be really stressed, and I started to develop the perfectionist, the side of me that behaves like a perfectionist and that claims the perfect person. So I started to want to have just good grades. Like, every child wants to have good grades, but it was in an extreme way, and I was really, really stressed. So even when I was 7, 8 year old, I was really focused on school, on like everything that I did. Like, I just wanted to do everything perfect, not just school, but also sports, also conversations, everything that was around me, everything that I did needed to be perfect. So now that I look back, I really think that my eating disorder was rooted in that stress, in that perfectionist way of living, and it all started from school. So I really think that's a problem and something needs to change, but I'm not going to talk about that today, maybe in another episode, because it's a really big topic and I really think people should talk more about it, and children need help in that. So definitely going to touch on that soon, but for now, so I want to say that I was identifying as a perfectionist until last year. So from the first grade to, like, when I was in the first grade, I started to have some symptoms of an eating disorder, but just like really small things. And then when I was in the fourth grade, everything started to just go really fast, and then I was diagnosed. So when I was 10, I was diagnosed, and then, like, somehow I started to live another life. So I battled with that eating disorder and really didn't want to recover, and I think that I touched on that a lot on my podcast, on my eating disorder story. But until I was 13, I didn't want to recover at all. I just didn't find a purpose in life, and everything just seemed awful. Like, I didn't have a why for living. So I don't know how and why, and it just was at a point in my journey, I just started to want to recover, and that was when I discovered spirituality, and that's when I started to think that I want to discover things on my own terms. Not what other people were saying to me, but what I really thought about things. So I started to discover different things that were staying on my mind, and that was spirituality and religion on somehow, because they have a lot of things in common, but also really many differences, but I'm not going to touch on that. So I started to discover myself, to claim my identity again. And I've done a lot of internal work, and I've worked a lot with myself, and I somehow struggled when I got back in school when I was 13. So last year when I was in seventh grade, I really struggled with the school environment, and it was pretty rough for me, but somehow the change was not clear yet. So I was still forming what I feel now. So then when 7th grade ended, it was sensible. I could feel that something would change. So the whole summer I think that I've built that in me, because I didn't resonate with the past version of myself. I didn't resonate with perfectionist anymore, and I've let go a lot of the things that didn't make me feel like myself. So also Instagram, like I've let go of that part also because of that, because I didn't feel ready to not work on it as perfect as I wanted. So I just let go all of it because I didn't feel ready to just do a part of the work. And it really feels good to not have that pressure to be online all the time. And seriously, I just don't have the time right now. Like I'm still in school, like I still need to learn, but I'm going to touch on that story right now. So when school started, I, like 1 or 2 weeks before that, I started to have some kind of a cue of what is going to be, like not really a vision, but like some words that defined how I wanted to feel in that school year, in this school year. So I think it was a full moon or a new moon, I don't really remember. And a word just came to me. So compassion. This word just came to me and said, this is what is going to be. This is what you need to on what you need to focus this year. Compassion for yourself, even if you do good, even if you do bad, even if whatever it may happen, compassion is the way. So I somehow had some stability that the change is coming, because I couldn't resist living the same way. So I started school, and it was real that I couldn't be the perfect Anna anymore. Like, it was real. I was not the best version of myself anymore, but somehow I still had some thoughts of doing things perfectly, and I kept remembering myself that I've changed and I don't need to behave like that person anymore. Like, maybe I still have some thoughts, because I still have some thoughts and my mind is still trying to trick me, but I've changed a lot, and this is my path now. Like, this feels right for me now. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to follow my heart. That's the path. Follow your heart, and for me that's compassion. And hard work, but compassion, because I've never had that for myself. that's really hard. It's really hard for people that have and were perfectionists. And I think all people have something in them that just keeps them not think that they're enough. But when you're compassionate with yourself and with others, because it goes as a community, things change a lot in your mind, and you start to find more love, because love is the way. So I really think this episode emphasizes surrendering to the present moment. I think this is a true story of what and how much change can happen from connecting to yourself, and that's what staying present means. Like, when you stay present, you're connected to yourself and you receive information from yourself in every single moment of your life, and that's how you can follow your path. And I know, because I had this perfectionist mindset in my spiritual path, and I'm still questioning, and I was questioning and still questioning that if this is the path, this is the answer, or just putting a lot of questions and pressure if that's the right path, or if it's not, or if that's the answer, or I just don't know. Maybe many people have these thoughts of not uncertainty, but not having trust in yourself. But I'm trying to change that, to trust myself more. And like, it's a lot of work, everything takes time and effort, but somehow the only thing that I do now is I'm trying to listen to my heart daily. Like, I don't do that in every single moment, or I don't know if I do that, because if I was thinking about that every single moment, I would go crazy, because that's another side of perfectionism. So I'm just trying to connect to myself on a daily basis, and I'm trying to catch my breath, because like, it's a really hard season of life to change from being perfect to being compassionate, and it's a lifelong lesson. And as you know, in season 2, like, it's somehow so crazy because I haven't been recording, but I still think this is season 2, and I hope that I will have 3 episodes, like one for September, one for October, and one for November. So that's the 2nd episode of this season. And you know that we have a big takeaway and a baby step. So the takeaway, as I said, is surrendering to the present moment, staying with yourself, and that's how you're going to find your true path. There's no way other than this. And it's as simple as that. Listening to your heart. Because I know how it feels to overcomplicate things, because I was there and I'm still somehow in that circle, and that's why I was talking about repeating cycles, because I was thinking that I'm still in that perfectionist cycle. I'm still having those thoughts, but I needed to keep reminding myself that I'm not that past version of myself, and that's why I'm not doing the same things. That's when the comparison came. I was thinking that the past version of myself was better because it was learning more or just focusing just on school. But I know that this is the me from now, and this is what feels good for me. This is what actually feels good for me. Back then, I was stressing myself, burning myself out, and I still have some of those actions, but I'm way better at dealing with stress and managing my stress level because it's really important. Sleep and recover and rest, and I could just name all of them, but like, you're not moving backwards if you're doing less. You're not moving backwards if you may feel that you're not better than your past version of yourself, because you're not just going up or going down. You're going on your path, and that's how it looks. I don't really know how this comparison, just you learn it in school, like you just many things that you need to do in school is compare different things, and that's why we learn that. And also comparing yourself to other people, because teachers compare you to other children because they're better, because they behave better, they learn better, they have better grades. So yes, I'm just turning into another story. And the baby step. So it's actually the same thing, coming back to yourself, coming back to what you value, what you truly value, your core values. Like, it's that simple, because life is actually that simple. We overcomplicate it because there are a lot of complications in life. But when we feel that stress over us, it's okay to come back to what we value, just that peace, that to come back to our heart and remember that we have that part of us that leads us to ourselves and to our path. I just love talking and just love recording for this podcast. It has just been I just had a lot of other things to do, and I just couldn't find time to, like, I could make time, but I know that it would be another stress for me. So that's why I didn't show up. That's why I don't show up on Instagram anymore, because I know that it would be another stress for me. So I hope, like right now I have a short holiday, so that's why I made the time to come on here, and I really missed you, and I feel so glad that I recorded this episode, because it was on my heart. So such a deep message. Like, that's what I think. Maybe you resonate with it, maybe you learned something from it. Like, that's what I hope. That's what this podcast is about. So sending you all the love and light